So I would like to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. In today's webinar, we'll be understanding about the intraday setup majorly, where the topic name is Intraday Trading Simplified, a strategic approach, where we will understand how you can be able to take a trade on the intraday 15 minutes candle. And it would make it easier for you to take an option trading or go for a normal cash. So I'll just hide myself again and we can start with the webinar. So going for the contents directly, understanding like what are the follow-ups that we're going to do today in the whole webinar. So first is introducing you to the intraday setup. Um, so what is the setup about and what sort of understanding that we are going to do about the indicators what we have used, strategy, basically what is our strategy, and the query file majorly, and by running the query file we'll understand the stocks which we are going to filter it out. Then will be entry, exit, and stop loss. So your entry point, your exit point, and your stop loss will be all indicated in the chart itself. So you'll be able to move and understand more betterly. And summarizing the whole part. Okay. Now moving forward, introducing it's an intraday setup which is mainly used for the 15 minutes time frame, because I've been using the setup for I think I would say like 6 to 7 months, and I've been testing it really well. And I've done this sort of strategy similarly in the past also, where I had conducted Delta Dash webinar where I had used the same chart, and sort of like I had gotten so much queries related to the charting. If we could get the query and if we could have a proper setup for it. So we are coming with a query setup with it. So as you can see over here, I have mentioned the indicators which I have used. So where I have applied different indicators to filter the entry, exit, and stop loss at the right time. The indicators are going to use the indicators which we are going to use are anchored VWAP, our super trend, relative strength index, and majorly price action. By understanding how price movement is going for your better use, basically अगर आप entry भी कर रहे हो तो if you have a dicey point कि ये basically जो मेरे को filter out करके दे रहे हैं like the indicators, but still I feel like the stock doesn't have potential, then by understanding the price action you would be more preferably getting a ease out situation out of it. So applying all the factors which are important for a technical analyst to understand the trades. Now we'll move forward. So the first is understanding the anchored VWAP. Like what is anchored VWAP? Now it basically anchors the point of the significant price level, a market event, or any relevant point in the time. So basically in the whole day you have almost like from 9 o'clock, but you will be studying and the market starts 9:15 until from 9:15 to 3:30 you've been constantly onto your system understanding the entry points, the exit points. So anchored VWAP sort of makes it easier for your price movement to go in a better way. Like अगर कहीं पे आपका एंट्री पॉइंट आ रहा है और कहीं पे एंट्री पॉइंट बन रहा है और रिवर्सल बन रहा है, तो एंकर वीवैप would be the first indicator which would in a way give you the right indication that reversals is happening, or for the upside, for the downside, whichever way it is. It in a way averages the price and provides a significant view for the price action, and obviously like it calculates your volume as well. So it combines the whole package for your price action, for the volume, and it moves really well for the reversals and everything. So this is anchored VWAP. Moving second indicator which we are going to use is super trend. Now super trend is nothing but it indicates you the positive signal and the negative signal. In a way, green would be for the upward and red would be for the downward, for which in this setup which we have over here, as you would be seeing over here, we have kept only pink line to make it more easier for you, easy going for you. uh, I will one by one I will try to explain you on the chart also, like what we are majorly looking for and how you can basically go ahead with it. So the pink line, which right now as you can see over here on the top above the price, is for your um, reversals or trend movement, like what is basically happening, a trend zone. Okay. Now basically super trend is that only. It also acts as your stop loss level as well. uh, it has a major different perspective to it for your creations as well. So uh, basically if you're going for a buy entry or sell entry, it the opposite of it, like directly over here, if I take an example, in JSW Steel chart, as you can see on the 15 minutes time frame, the last trading session, which was yesterday's, you can see that the pink line is above the price and your anchor VWAP is cutting over here. So in a way, it is telling you the downtrend is moving over here rather than the uptrend. Now uptrend would be basically over here. Let's take the prices above and the super trend is below. Now, in a way, you would see you can customize according to your preference for the parameters in SuperTrend. You can directly be able to use for your stop loss variations. Now, we'll discuss about this more later on in depth. But moving, this is what SuperTrend indicates to us. Now, the last indicator that we are going to use in today's time frame is our relative strength index, which is called as RSI also. Now, RSI plays a huge role into the for an analyst, for a technical analyst, because it gives you the proper signal. Like it doesn't fluctuate or it doesn't give you the wrong signals. As I have all like I've been doing the research for the this particular strategy, so I've seen that the RSI always is what I'm reliable for. Like even the case scenario where I thought the price is not giving me the right direction, or maybe any sort of a zone is going on, but I can rely definitely on RSI because it shows me the reversal point of views, the sideways zones, the conditions which are happening, or for the uptrend, for downtrend, it gives me the right indication. And not just this, but also RSI has too much to give, so you can see the trend reversal and corrective pullback also you are getting to understand. With that, you'll be obviously able to see 70, above 70 zone and below 30 zone. So 70 is above 70 would be indicated as an overbought zone, where once the RSI touch and crosses the 70 zone, you'll be able to see that the trend would take a reversal sort of, and there would be sometimes there is a, if the price is going good and the stock is moving right, it does give a good run up from there also. And then we have 30. So below 30 would be directly your oversold zone. So there has been a too much selling that has happened and it is trying to take a reversal. So where reversal ले रहा है, तो it would have an upside movement which you would be majorly seeing. So this is your relative strength index. Okay. And the last is obviously a price action. By understanding price actions, by understanding where is your supply zone, where is your demand zone, where you can basically put your support or resistance, and understanding the 15 minutes time frame more betterly. Though you'll be getting an understanding more betterly from the price action, if not by the indicators, then you can definitely rely on this too as well, because merging all four things, it majorly becomes as a package for you for the intraday traders. And if you're an option trader, then definitely this gives you a heads up for a good profit bookings. That is what I have been noticing for a really long time. Okay, so that is your price action. Now we'll put up a poll by understanding your query related to if y'all have used all these three indicators together. So the poll will launch now. So it says, have you used the combination of RSI, Anchor, VWAP, and Supertrend before? If you have used it, then kindly say yes. If you have not used it, kindly say no. Um, Now, seeing that matlab market is in the upside or downside, so you can definitely rely on this sort of indicators because it is somewhere understandable. So we have gotten much great results. Now I can see that the 81% of the attendees have not used it, and 19% of the attendings have used it. So I'm like great that y'all have used it. So that is a perfect thing. So this is in a way for you to go back and see like what is the point of view and where you can do this changes into your systems also. Now moving ahead, we'll understand chart first. Okay, so obviously the 81% who have not used it, so I will go with it to make you understand like how this all three of them merging together works really best for the intraday traders. And you can use this only on the cash, basically like the stocks, but when you go and apply for the indexes, you won't be able to. But for this change, you can use the future chart, where in the future chart you will definitely be able to use the anchored VWAP also. So it works in the index in a way, and also obviously relying on the our stock, it works really well. So JSW Steel, we go back over here. Now, what the strategies? The strategies basically, if you see, are blue color line, which is the first one, the bluish color line. That is basically our anchored VWAP. Okay, this is only for intraday time frames. It works on the intraday. If you go for the daily time frame, it won't be applicable. So only intraday time frame. Okay, okay. And if you want to apply, you can basically open a chart with the cash segment with the stock. सो अगर आप स्टॉक ये लगा रहे हो इंडिकेटर आपने आपके चार्ट में, तो बेसिकली आप एस प्रेस करोगे, एक नॉर्मल कैश का चार्ट लोगे, नॉट योर इंडेक्स चार्ट, एंड यू विल अप्लाई द एंकर वीवैप टाइमर. And you would not click on the in all time frames, because a if you click on in all time frames, you won't be able to apply. So right now what I'll do is I'll close this chart and I'll explain you how you can apply. Majorly, like, we do get queries ki anchored vwap lag nahi raha hai, what is the reason. So now this is nifty chart and it is a daily chart. Now in this two versions it is not going to work, because a being it's a index chart, and second being it's a daily chart. Okay, so what I would do is I would go back to JSW Steel, and then it is come back to the cash segment stock, and then I would press I, which is for my intraday, because यही intraday में ही लगता है. तो if I press Control I can go for the time frame directly, which is 15 minutes time frame. What I can see is obviously there is a huge rally which has gone. Where would be my entry point in this particular zone? मेरे को अगर reversal मिल रहा है, तो what I'll do is in the meantime I can hide the tools, and then we'll have a proper chart. Now this is not going to disturb us. Now I will go to the study section. In study section, I will take anchored VWAP, intraday, time. By the meantime, if you all have another system or you are on the system, try doing this process, so you'll be also getting into the hands of it, like how you are able to. Though you will get the chart and the queries, but still it would be a better way to it. Now I have chosen anchor VWAP. जैसे हम anchor VWAP पे click करेंगे, it will directly come over here. That means it has been selected. Now I go to parameter. It says 9:50 because the market starts at 9:15. It is taking the time period, and we are going with that purpose. I can obviously take the display like how I want. यहाँ पे आपको line में मिलेगा, signal भी मिलेगा. We'll take the line one. Signal will indicate you whether cutting average downward is happening, whether cutting average upward is happening. Okay. And the user में आपको name change करना है. Subgraph is nothing but the price जितना हमें चाहिए. And we would not click on in all time frames, because we are applying the intraday time frame itself, and we want in that itself, because it won't get applied to your daily time frame. Now here you see your anchored VWAP has been applied. Okay, so this is the first step of the chart, what we are going to look for. Now what are we seeing? There is a green line, there is a red line. What is it indicating? It is majorly indicating कि अगर cutting average upward हो रहा है. Let's take over here for example. यहाँ पे anchored VWAP was on, let's take by here, it was at the level of 1046, and your price was closing at 1035. Now once I go to this candle, my anchor VWAP is 1034. If I do control D also, I'll be able to see more betterly. 1034.36, and R closing is at 1038.40. That means it is above the anchor VWAP. So it has turned into the green color. Whereas if I move over here, my anchor VWAP is at the level of 1036 and the closing is happening at 1036.00. That means closing is happening at the below ends. That basically indicates you that the negative trend has started in a way, and this is a positive trend movement. Now, how do you understand if it is a positive trend, it is a negative trend? Now, if you see in the JSW steel, I've got the anchor VWAP cut and the closing has happened on the bottom end. Then our even the low has been broken, and then you can see a reversal continuity has happened. Obviously, if you'll see Nifty chart also, the first four candles of 15 minutes was rising and then it started falling off. So it was obviously working with the um, what you can say is with your index, and it was giving you the signal. But in this trading session, I've seen that the trend was either for the upside also and for the downside also. We were not getting the right signal for our zones. But if you see JSW Steel, after applying the anchored VWAP, if I add the super trend also, I will obviously be able to see the super trend was on the upper end and then we got the zone. So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि डाउनवर्ड एंड कंटिन्यूटी रहा है जिससे आप फिल्टर आउट कर सकते हो इवन दो द मार्केट इज सेलिंग यू range bound situations, or in those situations as well you can be able to see where your zones are happening. Okay. So iske baad, that is the second indicator is a super trend. So if I'll go and apply study me again, I'll press S and then I can go for SU super trend. Now I can apply this in all time frames because this doesn't get hidden or gets corrupted. We are using the parameter as a factor 3. Average period हम 10 ले रहे हैं, shift by हम 0 लिए हैं, and then I can apply directly in as in add. Now, as you see over here, we've got the super trend being telling us that it is a negative trend from this date, which is 29th of April, and from this date around 12 o'clock से super trend ने एक upside zone लिया था, एक negative zone चालू किया था, and which showed कि एक downward end चालू हो चुका है. Now you'll be thinking कि basically obviously red is again, by understand we won't go ahead directly. I'll guide you यहाँ पे strategy से पहले. Super trend में हमने यहाँ पे लिखा था कि typically green shows the upward and red shows the downward, which is what you can see यहाँ पे भी, that your green color line and your red color line is basically indicating you a upward and a downward trend. That is what it is basically showing you. Then we are going to apply, this is a simple one, then we are going to apply RSI. Now relative strength index in all time frames पे ले लो, parameters 14E9 as default, मतलब जो आपके हर के system में रहेगा, that is what we have kept, and this is your indicator which has been applied on the bottom end. Now as you would see, the zone, what my strategy comes up, we have understood how to apply the indicators. Great, that is clear with you all. I hope that is clear to all. So we have understood how to apply the indicators. Now we'll move back. I will try to focus on the chart that which I'm going to provide you. Will more practice on that. So for your visual perspective also, you will get more handy with that one, and rather than the red and green and all of it. So मैं स्क्रीन में जाती हूँ, लोड स्क्रीन करके इंट्राडे सेटअप करके रहेगा जो आपको भी मिल जाएगा, and then I'll open it. Okay. I opened it. I got the chart which has anchored VWAP in the blue color, super trend in the pink color. The RSI is on the below the price, and you've been getting all of this. We'll go back to JSW Steel also because we have made that as a basic example point of view to understand all of it. Now understanding what is the strategy. Okay. Now that is what we are going to do is, we have understood till the indicators part. हमारा super trend clear है, anchor VWAP clear है, and RSI is clear, and price action, which we're going to understand with applying all of this together, we'll understand more betterly. Now we are moving to the strategy part. Okay, what we are going to look, पहले हम chart reading कर लेते हैं, then हम query run करेंगे. Okay, now chart reading पहले करने से पहले आप यहाँ पे देखिए जो हमारा major zone था, like what we were searching was, we were thinking of first we had anchored VWAP. So we got the anchored VWAP cut over here, we got the anchored VWAP cut over here. So basically this both has happened. Now take this example, okay? Now over here your anchored VWAP has cutted the candle to the downward end, okay? And then you've got the closing also below the low of previous candle. So this is your one candle number one, this is a candle number zero. Now if you've got the closing below this low, which is अगर हम देखें तो हमारी closing हुई है 1018 पे and previous हमारा low था 1023, मतलब लो ऊपर था हमारे क्लोजिंग नीचे हुए तो डाउनवर्ड एक एंड पता चल रहा है, एक कंफर्मेशन होगा. वी से दिस कैंडल as a signal candle. Okay, this is where you get the cut. This indicates you the signal. The second candle, which is our closing at the low, वो जो कैंडल के द लो पे क्लोजिंग हो रहा है उसको हम बोलेंगे कंफर्मेशन कैंडल. ओके, and then would be our entry candle. Entry candle directly become कि जहाँ पे candle open हो रहा है, the third candle which is opening at the level of 1018.20. तो यहाँ पे आपका entry हो रहा है and then अगर आप continuity करो तो you have seen a good downward end which we have seen in the zone itself, that it has shown the direction. Now, what we are verifying over here, this is what we have seen कि anchored VWAP का इस तरह से रोल प्ले हो रहा है in your strategy. कट हो रहा है उसके नीचे प्राइस एक्शन के अंडरस्टैंडिंग से क्लोजिंग हमें नीचे मिल रही है, हमारी एंट्री पॉइंट डिसाइड हो गई है यहाँ पे. बट एंट्री पॉइंट डिसाइड होने से पहले और दो फैक्टर्स आते हैं जो हमें उससे पहले नोटिस करने हैं. Now, the factor number one is your super trend. Now, out of the two factors that you have to verify is the first factor being your super trend has to be above the price if the price is showing a downward end. मतलब negative होना चाहिए. Okay, so this is what it is indicating. And your RSI. RSI also कि RSI में अगर cut हुआ हो for the downside or for the upside, it indicates you the trend movement कि continuity है proper कि नहीं. We are currently looking for the bullish example. We will definitely go behind and look for the we are currently looking for the bearish example, but we will go behind and see somewhat bullish example also. ना बेरिश में आपको मेजरली यही देखना है कि डाउनवर्ड होना चाहिए, सुपर ट्रेंड प्राइस के ऊपर होना चाहिए, कटिंग एवरेज cutting anchored VWAP होना चाहिए, and our RSI should be also, the red line should be above the green line. Okay, so this all three factors that you have to notice in the zone. This is for the bearish. I hope it is clear to you all by now. If it is clear, you all can put a heads up like yes, it is clear or no. तो मैं वापस से एक बार go through करती हूँ. I would suggest everyone who is participating and who has attended the webinar can participate in this a minute thing where मैं पता चलेगा you have understood or you've not understood. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Vivek sir. We've got the zone. तो अभी हम parameters, yes, clear. Alka Joshi ma'am, great. Ganesh sir, great. Harsha sir, Anand sir, great. Okay, so I am getting the replies that you all have been clear and you all are understanding. That is lovely that you all are understanding. अभी हम एक poll डाल देते and then we will go ahead with the bullish setup also. The poll basically says कि अभी हमने parameters के बारे में बात किया था, तो according to which parameter, like what is the ideal parameter for you for related to the super trend, like according to you, what is the ideal parameter for super trend? Okay, Alpesh, so you have a doubt, we'll clear that too also. But before that, I would suggest कि आप एक बार सिर्फ पोल को आंसर कर दो. हम वो मूव करने के बाद we'll go ahead with the this thing. Requesting everyone to poll, answer the poll. which is basically according to you, what is the ideal parameter for super trend? 10, 3, 10, 2, 7, 3, 9, 3. Which works better for you? Okay, so we're getting good results related to, like, I've seen, like, I would request everyone who's attending the webinar today kindly put up answer on the poll. Okay, so we have gotten the answer. The first was basically जो 70% लोगों ने बताया था वो था for the 10-3 part, and the other were in 10-2 also and 7-3 also. So that is great. I think uh, both. I think I'm majorly looking forward. I look forward for 10-3 also and 10-2 also. So that is great. But we are in the strategy. We are majorly using 10-3 because it works and it gives you the right signal zones. It is not too clustered. अगर मैं 10-2 भी कर देती हूँ ना, तो यहाँ पे if I go for 2, for example, and then add, so my results, my understanding would, मेरी जो logic रहेगी वही पूरी अलग हो जाएगी rather than going with the similar part. Okay, so that is why what we are doing is we are using the 10-3-1, which because it is showing us the right zone. Okay, okay, just a minute. सॉरी, बिफोर मूविंग अहेड मैं एक डाउट क्लियर कर देती हूँ. देर इज अल्पेश सर जिन्होंने पूछा है व्हाट अबाउट द रेड कैंडल बिफोर ग्रीन कटिंग अपवर्ड. ओके, सो जैसे मैंने अभी जस्ट डिस्कस किया था दैट व्हाट वी आर लुकिंग फॉर इज आर सुपर ट्रेंड शुड बी आल्सो इंडिकेटिंग. Now over here in this particular format, I knew that there would be questions कि यहाँ पे basically कि green को भी cut हुआ है, then what is the zone? But if you see green cut हुआ है, but super trend is indicating a downward end itself. It is not indicating you the upward end. It is not indicating you the zone which has been created. तो यहाँ पे what we are looking for is the majorly कि cut हो रहा है, super trend ऊपर की तरफ है and RSI ने भी cut किया है for the downward end. यहाँ पे अगर हमारा दो फैक्टर भी अचीव हुआ, जैसे एंकर भी वहां पे अचीव हुआ एंड हमारा RSI भी अचीव हुआ, बट दिस वुड नॉट वर्क together. The strategy won't be useful because all three of them are combining together and coming to a proper answer. So that is why where the green candle cutted and it gave you the closing above the high also. But the super trend was indicating you the downward end. And यहाँ से ही उसने in a way अगर आप देखोगे तो resistance लेके डाउनवर्ड कंटिन्यू किया है. सो दैट वाज योर सेफर साइड कि अगर आपने यहाँ पे एंट्री भी लिया रहता तो यू वुडंट गेट ट्रैप ओवर हियर एंड आपका लॉस मेकिंग नहीं चालू होता. Whereas the right trader who would be using the strategy or who would be using the uh, sort of a chart, they would be able to see कि यहाँ पे हमारा जो सुपर ट्रेंड है वो ऊपर की तरफ है, तो हम अभी भी बेरिश मोड में रहना चाहते रहने वाले, और जब भी हमें सिग्नल आएगा एंकर वीवैप का तो वी वुड गो फॉर द डाउनवर्ड एंड विल मेक अ गुड प्रॉफिट. सो आई होप your doubt is clear, Alpesh sir, related to this. And I think everyone who had a doubt कि ये green cut हुआ है, then if it is working well or not. So that is the rule. Clear, and my suggestion is RSI is not up to intraday data. Okay. All right, Pankaj sir. We will definitely see what can be done about the red candle before the first green candle. अच्छा, you've been asking for this also. So अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे this red candle. Now here obviously the zone is created. ये हमारा last 3:30 का candle है which has been created. So the thing is कि if you see over here the super trend is above, anchored VWAP is correctly created. Our downward is also zone created because RSI भी नीचे की तरफ है. But if you see over here, your candle, the next candle has to close also now below the low, right? The price action वहां पे लगेगा आपका कि कैंडल को इसके लो के नीचे भी क्लोज करना जरूरी है. If it doesn't do, then obviously the zone is not getting created. I hope now it is clear to you. And also like the thing is कि this strategy will work from 9:15 to 3:30 के टाइम में कहीं कोई भी टाइम पे भी so the zone is very well going to get created if you get the signal at any point of time. Now if I go behind and if I will be able to मैं जो zones मतलब मेरे stocks filter out की हूँ, we have some of the stocks which have also given the signal at 12 o'clock also and 12:15 12:30 also, and they have shown a good zone for us. What if super trend made after anchor VWAP confirmation, then what to do? We have take trade or like JSW Steel in 2 days before. Yes, over here. जैसे अगर आप देख रहे हो कि आपके एंकर्ड वीवा आपने कट कर दिया है, क्लोजिंग हो चुकी है एंड उसके बाद सुपर ट्रेंड अभी जाके हमें डाउनवर्ड एंड का सिग्नल दे रहा है, तो वुड वी बी एबल टू गो फॉर इट? आई वुड से यस, बिकॉज इन अ वे अगर आप देख रहे हो कि हमारा सुपर ट्रेंड ने ऊपर कट किया है एंड इट स्टार्टेड शोइंग विद नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन फ्रॉम राइट नाउ ऑनवर्ड्स, तो योर एंट्री स्टार्ट्स ओवर हियर एट द मोमेंट. If you see, there would be like the mainly like the major and the most important part is कि हम मेजरली लुकआउट करें कि हमारा तीनों अलाइनमेंट साथ में हो. The ideal sort of situation is that. But if it doesn't work in that direction also, we would definitely consider this sort of a part कि जहाँ पे हमारा कटिंग एवरेज हुआ है एंड क्लोजिंग भी मिली है तो एक सिग्नल हुआ है, साथ ही में आरएसआई ने भी यहाँ पे मेरे को सिग्नल दिया है फॉर द डाउन साइड. सो वुड आई गो कंटिन्यू फॉर द डाउनवर्ड? यस आई कैन वंस द सुपर टेन स्टार्ट गिविंग मी द सिग्नल्स टू इट. So that is the zone. You can definitely go. Everything comes into super trend, also RSI, because super trend is you are majorly relying on कि आपके trend direction कहाँ पर है, limits of. So definitely all of them work together. If I would be only relying to super trend, then obviously my trade would in a way be यहाँ पे भी एक मेरे को zone मिलता. Yes, but major thing is it starts from anchored VWAP. It gives I give importance to super trend also, but it starts from anchor VWAP, then super trend comes in, then RSI also starts indicating you. So all of them merging together gives you the best results and sort of a better zone for you rather than getting trapped over here. बिकॉज यहाँ पे हम थोड़े से इन अ वे ट्रैप हो जाते हैं क्योंकि आरएसआई ने भी कट कर दिया था, बट देन आरएसआई ने स्टार्टेड मूविंग डाउनवर्ड एंड देन इट गेव द कट ओवर इन दिस कैंडल इटसेल्फ. तो जहाँ पे आपका एंकर ने भी कट किया था, आरएसआई ने भी कहीं हद तक वहां पे ही डाउनवर्ड कट किया था एंड देन आप देख सकते हो कि कंटिन्यूटिंग डाउनवर्ड एंड काफी अच्छा क्रिएटेड रहा था. Then RSI ने obviously यहाँ पे एक positive movement दिया था, but super trend was obviously negative, so we would have might have stayed into the zones and we would have gone for it. So इस तरह से you could have been referred to this. Can we use smooth RSI instead of simple RSI? You can definitely. You can apply. You can move the smoothen RSI also because it will give you the right results also and it will in a way smoothen the process for you also. What I'll do is by the meantime अमित सर मैं ना यहाँ पे smoothen RSI भी लगा देती हूँ. So तो हमने smoothen RSI भी लगाया है, तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हो तो we have again gotten the right signal at the direction. RSI ने थोड़ा पहले दिया था, smoothen RSI ने at that particular candle ही दिया and then you could see a downward and was created. Simply it is working great for both of it. तो आपको दोनों साथ ही में दोनों मतलब आप अपने तरीके से यूज कर सकते हो. यू कैन कस्टमाइज अकॉर्डिंग टू. अगर आप यू हैव बीन यूजिंग स्मूदन आरएसएफ फॉर अ रियली लॉन्ग टाइम देन डेफिनेटली यू कैन गो अहेड विद दैट आल्सो. It works really well. So I'll remove this now. So अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये रिजल्ट्स दे रहा है आपको. आई होप गणेश सर आपका डाउट क्लियर है. निमित सर योर डाउट इज आल्सो क्लियर. No, the strategy we do have query we are going to provide now. The first thing was I wanted you to get clear with the chart and then we'll go with the that part also. So I hope till now everything is clear. We'll move ahead now. अभी अगर आप यहाँ पे देखो सिमिलरली गणेश सर जैसा सिचुएशन था हमारा कि यहाँ पे हमें कट दे दिया था, यहाँ पे कंटिन्यूटी. देन अगेन इफ यू सी ओवर हियर वी गॉट द कट, we got the closing almost really nicely above this and the super trend started giving the zone for the down. मतलब एक नीचे की तरफ आया, देख bullish uptrend देने का zone दिया. तो यहाँ पे आपकी एंट्री अगेन बन गई 1034 पे. यू सी RSI इज ऑल्सो मूविंग गुड. इट इज नॉट रियली इन द ओवरबॉट जोन, इट इज नॉट रियली इन द ओवरसोल्ड जोन. सो यू सी नाउ वी हैव एन अप ट्रेंड मूवमेंट ऑल्सो विच हैज बीन गॉट. So again, your alignment has to be there. Your super trend has to be below. You cannot go and take a trade कि अगर anchored view आपने देखो जैसे यहाँ पे कट किया, यहाँ पे closing दिया. If super trend ने downward नहीं किया है, then it is obviously a मतलब नीचे नहीं आया तो it is definitely in the um, downtrend only, not in the uptrend. So this is the zone for us. Okay, तो हम इस तरह से अगर सुपर ट्रेंड नीचे भी आ रहा है then you can definitely go ahead. अगर एक कैंडल बाद भी आ रहा है तो it is fine. You can definitely practice that situation. You can filter the stocks. How you can filter the stocks? If you have DD, you can definitely work with this. अगर आप DD use कर रहे हो तो this strategy, this chart works really well in the DD also. I've seen like so many stocks I used to filter. मैंने डीडी के इसमें यही बताया था सेम सिमिलर चार्ट बट आई हैव ट्राइड टू कम अप विद इट बिकॉज client do wanted that. You can use this with the tick query features. You can use this with the event selector features also. That works both well, works really well. I mean सारे features जो है हमारे काफी complement करते हैं to this particular strategy. In 15 minutes you can also see if you are 30 minutes trader, it will also work you for in the 30 minutes as well. You can see 30 minutes में कैसे आप rely कर सकते हो कि यहाँ पे cut हुआ, closing इधर हुआ. You can take an entry at that would be a 1043 and then you can continue. That will be your zone. And for the downward also you see आपका 1018 पे यहाँ पे cut करके हुआ closing. आपको क्लोजिंग मिली 1003 पे and then you would be able to see a downward end which was also created. So 30 minutes would be again a zone for you. So that is what we have. Now we will start with the strategy that we have over here, which is our technical query. We'll take the one first window. It is also named as intraday setup. तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो intraday setup के नाम से ही लोड किया है इसको. Now we have A for a bullish, we have B for the bullish. So we have two conditions that we have created. We have taken anchored VWAP, we have taken price, understanding कि closing proper होना चाहिए. Then उसमें हमने RSI को भी importance दिया, green body and red body को भी importance दिया. तो we have created the whole query for you. Now I would do a thing कि मैं एक काम करती हूँ. I would take this candle again. I would do this as a 15 minutes candle and then Control D करते हम. So this is your basically 20th candle. We will consider this as a 19 candle in our technical query, correct? And then we will run this query. So after running the query, we have gotten Berger paint, जिसका signal हमें मिला था. So basically nothing but the Berger paint का यहाँ पे somewhat 20 यहाँ पे हमें मिला था signal. So as you can see on the 20th candle for the bullish, we had gotten Berger paint जहाँ पे हमारा candle एक थोड़ा सा drawback like pullback लिया था, but then again a continuity happened and you can see the whole day there was a session which was created for the upside itself. So this has been example of the 20th candle. Then we'll go for the hull. यहाँ पे अगर देखें तो obviously like cut हुआ है, closing अच्छी मिली है, super trend and everything is in the upward because the price was the stock was not moving great. तो उसके वजह से हमें काफी ये टाइम पे एक zone flatten होते हुए दिखा था. And also if you see the anchored VWAP sort of created a zone for you for the down, मतलब flatten करते हुए आपको दिखा. Then यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो तो इधर again almost we got the signal in this candle where it closed and the anchored VWAP the pullback लिया, then again it took the reversal and it moved really nicely for the upper end. So there has been as pullback हुआ है थोड़ा सा and then एक upside के लिए continuity दिखी है हमें. तो अब वो उस तरह से आप इसको देख सकते हो कि एक थोड़ा सा पुल बैक लेता है एंड देन अपसाइड के लिए कंटिन्यूटी दिखती है हमें. Okay, so this is what we were seeing on the 19th candle. We'll go to 20th candle. We got Dixon and we got SBI. Dixon में हमारा यहाँ पे रिवर्सल हो चुका था, which in a way अगर मैं देखूँ तो यहाँ पे हमारी एंट्री sort of like एक ट्रैप हुआ है हमारे साथ यहाँ पे. बट दैट इज अगेन इफ यू सी इफ आई गो फॉर द सुपर giving the signal zone, it sort of ended up making me a situation like this. So this could be like one of the either cases, not really one the best case. Now again यहाँ पे continuity दिखी, we got an entry, but then again sort of like one of the cases because we are seeing the zone was very much on the क्या बोल सकते हैं on the not either side of it. That's why we got some of this stocks filtered over here. What I'll do is I can go on the 23rd candle and we'll see some of the stocks. Morning in after the 15 minutes, you will definitely get a good amount of stocks which are coming for the upside, for the downside, both of it. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे तो अतुल में हमें मिला है एक अपसाइड के लिए which went really great. Then we got Dr. Reddy, Fact, मेजरली वो स्टॉक्स अपसाइड के लिए थे बट देन ऑब्वियसली यहाँ से आपको डाउन साइड के लिए दिखे रहेंगे बिकॉज दिस इफ यू सी द निफ्टी चार्ट इटसेल्फ इट वाज इन द अपसाइड एंड देन इट सॉर्ट ऑफ वेंट टू द डाउनवर्ड एंड सो एक अगर पोजिशनल कंटिन्यू रहता निफ्टी का भी तो आप देख सकते कि एक आउट परफॉर्म होता स्टॉक्स एंड देन उस हिसाब से ही जोन दिखता. But majorly, what we wanted is to get the signal at the right time. We were getting that. So that is that. Will filter things. तो हमारी इस तरह से जो जोन है क्रिएट होते हुए दिखी है. It is filtering the stocks for you, so definitely it will come up and it will give you those sort of results which are working according to the strategy as it says is कि हमारा एंकर भी वेब कट हो रहा है क्लोजिंग हो रहा है एंड इट इज मूविंग गुड विद इट. अगर आप चार्ट को भी देखोगे आप इंडेक्स को भी देखोगे तो ऑब्वियसली कंटिन्यूटी थोड़ा सा इधर उधर हुआ है जो कल के सेशन में ही हुआ था उसके वजह से ये इस तरह से रिजल्ट्स हमें दिख रहे हैं आफ्टर रिजल्ट्स उसके ऐसे दिख रहे हैं. बट इफ आई go with the live session में properly live session में you'll see a zone would be definitely seeing and आप continuity देख सकते हो वहाँ पे. Create a distance. Can we get this query in events? This will definitely like give you the right zones and sort of zone जहाँ पे proper like market एक direction में move कर रहा है एक direction में सही तरह से zone दिखा रहा है then it will work definitely great for you. In the sideways obviously or range bound situations you won't get to see the results but अगर मैं देखने जाऊँ जैसे हमारा JSW स्टील था तो downward and जिस तरह से start हुआ आपको वहां पे रिजल्ट्स आने चालू हो जाएंगे कि डाउनवर्ड एंड भी चालू हुआ है तो दैट इट वुड गिव यू दी zones as per the market movement which is going. So it does provide you the best sort of zones for you. So this is what the query is. Queries obviously we have created intraday में जब हम run करेंगे तो that you will get ton of the different stocks which are showing the rise and giving you a movement. On both, if you see over here, the your entry level your the signal generated would be happening on both the zones. जैसे मतलब आपका कट हुआ यहाँ पे closing हुआ super trend is above. I have added all the things which I concluded today in today's session. I've added all the points into the technical query also. So we are respecting everything that we have over here. So ऐसा नहीं कि we are neglecting like 2 or 3 things, but we are respecting everything that we have. Now the thing is, we'll go through with some of the examples like what I have noted down, what I had seen yesterday. I don't know the candle number or sort of a thing, so उसके वजह से हम थोड़ा सा इधर ये हो रहे हैं. But what I would do is, I will show you some of the examples which has been there. So जैसे first हम जाते हैं IRB में. Now in IRB, if I go, A, I got the signal over here, which is basically कि आपका candle ने signal indicate किया, which was a downward end. The closing could not happen, but the closing happened over here, and then we sort of seen a continuity which happened on the whole day. देन आईआरबी में उसके 2-3 दिन पहले भी हमें एक सिग्नल मिला था विच हैपेंड यहाँ पे ऑन दी 9:45 को ही हमें मिला था सिग्नल विच वाज एट द लेवल की क्लोजिंग हमें हुई थी 47.72 पे and then you saw the downward end was created. Yes, Amit sir, this query has to be run in the live only. This doesn't work कि हम एक एक करके कैंडल को रिपीट करेंगे. आप लाइव क्वेरी पे ही रन करो, you'll get the stocks immediately. IRB was the sell side का 2 दिन के लिए. फिर we have sell side के अदानी we saw. So अदानी एंटरप्राइज के लिए हम जाते हैं. अदानी एंटरप्राइज यहाँ पे हमें सिग्नल मिला था इधर एंड देन थोड़ा पुल अप लिया एंड देन कंटिन्यूटी एक डाउनसाइड एंड आपको देखने मिला यहाँ पे. सो यू सॉ दिस जोन ऑल्सो over here also you got the signal over in this candle. Your confirmation happened in this candle and you got the entry over here which was 2403 and you got the trend went till 2334 also. So we have seen this as well. We'll take Axis Bank as our bullish के लिए. तो एक्सिस बैंक में अगर मैं बताऊं तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे तो इस दिन हमें प्रॉपर एक बुलिश साइड के लिए एक एंट्री मिली थी. इफ यू सी व्हाट वी आर रेफरिंग इज एंकर वीवैप कट हुआ, सुपर ट्रेंड नीचे है, आरएसआई पॉजिटिव दे रहा है, क्लोजिंग प्रॉपर हुआ, पुल बैक लिया थोड़ा बट एक अभी अपसाइड रिलीज हुआ है. तो दैट इज व्हाट द कंटिन्यूटी हैज हैपेंड ओवर हियर इन एक्सिस बैंक. प्रीवियस टू प्रीवियस ये दिन पे हुआ था एंड इफ आई गो अहेड ऑल्सो तो यहाँ पे भी हमें एक सिग्नल मिल गया था वेर हैव बीन लाइक सीइंग. तो यहाँ पे एक जोन अपसाइड के लिए कंटिन्यूटी दिखी थी हमें. So the zones were created on both the side which we had seen in Axis Bank. Now Bharti Airtel is another stock that we are seeing. Now भारतीय एयरटेल में हमने yesterday प्रीवियस टू प्रीवियस डे सेशन में देखा था. तो यहाँ पे अगर मैं इसको ले लू, यहाँ पे बंद कर देते हैं, इसको कट किया, क्लोजिंग मिली एंड अगर मैं जैसे बोल रही थी कि आपका ये सिग्नल है जो पूरे होल डे में काम करता है. द होल डे यहाँ पे यू हैव सीन कि इधर हमारा 1:15 को हमें सिग्नल मिला था and we got the closing at 1:30 and we got a good entry at 1:45 1842 पे. It went off till it created a high of 1876 also. So it doesn't work कि starting में ही आपको signals काफी मिल जाएंगे. It works on the whole day period. So if you are a trader who sits properly like from 9:15 till 3:30 and you are rigorously seeing कि क्या हो रहा है, किस तरह से जोन और कहीं पे एंट्री मिल रही है पूरे दिन में, तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली वॉच आउट ऑन दिस जोन्स आल्सो. दैट वर्क्स आफ्टर फर्स्ट हाफ आल्सो. सो यहाँ पे हमें एक जोन देखा था भारतीय एयरटेल में where our anchor web cutted, gave a good closing also above the high of previous day. Then our super trend was downward in. Our RSI also signaled rightly in the upside and a continuity zone देखा. Then last is our HDFC Bank, HDFC Life, sorry. I will go for HDFC Life. HDFC Life में भी yesterday to yesterday session में हमें दिखा था कि यहाँ पे कट हुआ है. उसके पहले उसके ऊपर क्लोजिंग हुई है विच इज हैपनिंग एट 9:45 को ही आपको सिग्नल मिला था. देन आपकी एंट्री बन गई थी 727 पे एंड देन इट वेंट ऑफ till 7:44 by the end of the day. So there are like I've communicated with so many clients. So client ने बोला भी था कि they look out this strategy and they exit the trade at around 3 o'clock 3:15 sort of. So seeing वेरिएशंस ऑफ सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग कि आप 12 बजे भी एंट्री ले सकते हो, आप एग्जिट आप 3 o'clock को भी करते हो, तो दिस स्ट्रैटेजी गोज टुगेदर. एंड इफ यू आर लाइक स्टार्टिंग में ही एक रैली थी, तो देयर आर जोन्स व्हिच यू विल गेट द होल थिंग होल एज अ पैकेज इटसेल्फ. तो इस तरह से हमें जोन मिला है. व्हाट अगेन इज आई एम सजेस्टिंग कि अगर आपका आरएसआई, अभी ये एक हाईलाइट पॉइंट है कि अगर आपका आरएसआई जो है कट कर रहा है बट इट इज हैपनिंग अबाव ओवरबॉट जोन, मतलब 70 के ऊपर जाके कट हो रहा है, मतलब ऐसे लाइक प्रॉपर लाइक एवरेज को कट करके इन द 70 जोन में दे रहा है और इन द 30 जोन में 30 के नीचे दे रहा है, तो डू नॉट टेक द ट्रेड एट दैट पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट. इट कुड टेक अ रिवर्सल. सो द थिंग इज कि व्हाट वी आर मेजरली सजेस्टिंग इज कि अगर आपका ओवरबॉट के ऊपर कट हुआ है फॉर द अपसाइड, मतलब रेड लाइन को कट करके ग्रीन लाइन ऊपर गया है इन 70 के ऊपर, तो आप ट्रेड ना ही लीजिए. और अगर वही केस सिमिलरली लाइक डाउनवर्ड में अगर 30 के बिलो रेड ग्रीन लाइन को रेड लाइन कट कर रहा है 30 के नीचे, तो डू नॉट टेक अ ट्रेड बिकॉज इट शैल make you end up being in the opposite direction where you don't want to go. So वैसे भारतीय एयरटेल में जो आप ये वाले जोन की बात कर रहे हो विवेक सर, हाँ तो अगर आप इधर की बात करो तो देर इज नो ट्रेड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर जोन राइट नाउ. इफ यू सी 10:45 पे द थिंग इज अगर मैं यहाँ पे देखूंगी तो if I've got the cut, I've got the closing also, then obviously upside continuity रहा है. डेफिनेटली बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि यहाँ पे अगर आप एंट्री करते हो 1850 पे यू हैव सीन अ लो ऑफ 1833 आल्सो दैट हैज हैपेंड. तो ये एक जोन आपका डेफिनेटली क्रिएटेड है व्हिच हैज हैपेंड. But seeing like a candle has moved too far. Abhi like there is pros, cons, and obviously like there is things that you have to take a reminder of. Now the first reminder is obviously the stock has taken a movement like 3 to 4%, और 4% से ज्यादा फर्स्ट कैंडल में ही मूव कर दे, डू नॉट टेक अ ट्रेड इन दैट स्टॉक. अगर 4% से ज्यादा मूव नहीं हुआ है लाइक इन द रेंज है लाइक 1 to 2, यू कैन डेफिनेटली गो अहेड विद इट. सो इन अ वे इफ यू सी कि अगर स्टार्टिंग में ही काफी ज्यादा जोन हो चुका है देन do not take a trade and do not go for it. So this is why that's why I did not take this example because it was already a huge candle. Then it shows the upside, but then obviously it is falling also. So there was a no the price action. Understanding the price action, you do not see the zone. But agar मैं देखूं, then RSI is obviously telling the sell side. So if you see, it is in the downward end only. तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देख सकते हो कि रिवर्सल डेफिनेटली है भी काफी हद तक जो हुआ है बाद में. ओके सो आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर टू यू. सो वी हैव सीन sell side के लिए some of the stocks and we have seen buy side के लिए some of the examples. By understanding all three of them have an alignment, तो आप एक proper zones create कर सकते हो. Yes, buy and sell both के लिए it is applicable. If you see the query session, query, it has both of it together. So it goes for both of it, Vivek sir. Okay, तो I hope जो आज का सेशन हुआ है everyone has understood and everyone has taken a understanding of it. तो यहाँ पे we'll do a poll session which will be basically you suggesting me the webinar was how good, bad or excellent. Whatever your suggestion is, we would work definitely onto this part. And another thing was Amit sir ने पूछा है कि where would be your stop loss? Your stop loss will get directly created as super trend जिस जगह पे रहेगा. Super trend का जो प्राइस रहेगा वो आपका स्टॉप लॉस की तरह एक्ट करेगा. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू कीप. जैसे यहाँ पे अगर मैं एक बार आप पोल से कंप्लीट कर दो देन मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दिखा देती हूँ. Great. So we have concluded the session. Thank you for everyone voting. Thank you for giving your input. I would definitely work on more such sort of webinars, such sort of a thing. There are two queries. We'll cover that and we'll wind up then. Your यहाँ पे अगर आप अमित से देख रहे हो तो यहाँ पे आपकी कट हुई, यहाँ पे क्लोजिंग हुई. This is your entry point. Your stop loss will directly become the super trend where it is. Super trend is always playing safe. तो आप उस हिसाब से मतलब in a way you can play safe, not super trend. Super trend is signaling you. So यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो तो 2 बजे जो बेसिकली हमारा 1838 पे जो हमारा प्राइस है सुपर ट्रेंड का, दैट इज व्हाट अ स्टॉप लॉस इज एंड योर एंट्री वुड बी नियर टू 1843. ओके, super trend is your stop loss. Okay. Can we get query? Yes, definitely you will get the query. I will guide you where you will be able to get the query from. So you go to files, download files, override existing पे click करो, EOD में रहो and get file list करो. अच्छा, MIC में जाओ एंड गेट फाइल लिस्ट करो। यहाँ पे आपको 0305 करके वेबिनार डॉट जिप फाइल दिखेगा। वंस यू क्लिक एंड डाउनलोड द फाइल, आपका डायरेक्टली technical query में once you go and load, you will get the intraday setup, and once you go to the chart section and load screen, आपका intraday setup आपको दिख जाएगा। ओके, when to exit again, एक और चीज है मैं क्लियर कर देती हूँ, आपका एग्जिट पॉइंट तभी डिफाइन होगा जब भी आपका RS आएगा, वापस से कट होगा for the opposite side. That will be your exit points. Basically, योगेश सर, तो अगर समझो कि आपका RSI नीचे से ऊपर की तरफ कट कर है, रेड से मतलब ग्रीन में जा रहा है वापस से, दैट इज योर exit point directly because we will see who is giving the first signal, or RSI gives you the first signal every time. So that is what you can definitely conclude. Okay, so we'll wind up the session now. I hope you have understood everything. If you have any more doubts, you directly know our contact number. That is basically 02235018383. Our support email address is support@spidersoftwareindia.com. If you want to write us a mail related to anything, any doubts, any questions, you can directly go for it. And your WhatsApp number अगर आपको हमें directly connect करना है, that is 8976991601 and 602. So those are the WhatsApp number which is available every time. Okay. Um, I think everything is clear. Hope you all have enjoyed the session. We'll see you next Saturday for another webinar. All right. Thank you so much.